Finally, after 2 years of pandemic, we had a distinguished gentleman's ride. No wonder. Everyone behaved beautifully. The ride was always calm and smooth. There were no problems with the police. The tires were always impeccable. No mechanical failures. And not one single police chase. Some of the things I said are false, and some are true. And that is what you are going to find out in the next minutes. Welcome to Racer TV. And who is this happy pipe-smoking gentleman? This is António Vilarinho, who kindly let me use some of his excellent footage. But let's start from the beginning. This is how the sky was 1 hour before leaving home. There were good chances of getting some rain. But luckily, everything went very well. At least, for the three of us. This year, Fernando with his Yamaha XS, and Augusto with a Continental GT, kept me company during the day.
Acho que conheço essa moto.
Deve conhecer de certeza.
Muitos parabéns pelo seu trabalho.
Muito obrigado.
Impecável.
Muito obrigado.
Muito gosto mesmo. Está lindíssimo. Ouvir está muito mais bonita do que realmente nas imagens.
É o que me costumam dizer. É o que me costumam dizer.
A vossa viagem correu bem?
Correu bem.
Sim,
correu bem.
Quando é que vocês vieram? Uma delas foi de reboque há uns anos atrás, já não me recordo qual é que foi.
Foi uma Ducati.
Foi uma Ducati.
Este ano não veio. Este ano não veio.
Para não ver chatice, ela ficou em casa.
Não, por acaso este ano ele não me disse nada. Não, acabou por não ouvir.
So, Marco and his Ducati came after all. As usual, most people only arrive way later. Which explains why there are only a few motorcycles on the meeting point. This very good-looking Royal Enfield already appeared on this channel. And a few years ago, this is how it looked like. Philippe made really some wonderful choices. Personally, I think this is how the Continental GT 535 should look like right from the factory. Another interesting Royal Enfield is this one. Yes, it looks like a stock Interceptor 650. The most interesting part is that this bike is the exact same Interceptor with which I made a test drive video a few years ago. I would never know it if the new owner wouldn't tell me. But now, it sounds like this. But let's now go to the gentlemen, who are not exactly gentlemen. The ladies. Very interesting to see a Yamaha XT ridden by a woman. No wonder they usually prefer motorcycles with a lower seat. And here's a woman who is not afraid to ride a powerful motorcycle. But let's see the opposite. It is noticeable she is still learning. But it's not easy when the feet don't reach the ground. And this is applicable to any of us. Yes, it is hard when our dream motorcycle was not made for our body, and we still buy it anyway. I admire how he manages to handle the situation. Very good indeed. And now for the classics. So, let's start with the iconic CB series. The grandfather of the Honda VFR series. A Suzuki GS850. Original and unrestored. And here is a very interesting Java. I have never seen it loaded with so many optional accessories. There was also a BMW, which captured my attention. It is not stock, but it looks very cool indeed. A very unusual Aprilia 6.5. The iconic Yamaha from the two-stroke world. Speaking about two strokes, here are some of the most popular 50cc motorcycles in Portugal. Judging by the chrome, it looks like it just left the factory. The very popular Casal Boss. A Macau. And the EFS GT. With a cafe racer seat. And a beautiful air turbine cooled engine. Another custom Casal. Probably the only bike with some mechanical problems. I am sure it was only due to some rust on the gasoline. But what about the big and custom motorcycles? There were a few, but way less than usual. I am sure you remember this awesome CB750. If you don't, I am sure you will remember this sound. And it still looks awesome. There was also another XS650, like Fernando's Yamaha. But this one is still a work in progress. I have to make a correction in what I said on my last DGR's video from this very unique Vespa. I said it was a motorcycle with 5 wheels. But I forgot 2 of them, which means it has 7 wheels in total. So, everything was going along beautifully until this happened. No, it's not what you are thinking. The police arrived just to close some Oporto streets for our trip. And this meant the ride was about to begin. As you hear, Fernando's XS has a very loud engine sound. But that's also because the bike is temperamental. And sometimes, it needs some acceleration to keep the engine running. So, as usual, the beginning of the ride was slow. But compared with all previous DGRs, it was excellent. Because from this point forward, there were absolutely no stops. There were some slow sections, but not slow enough to put 1 foot on the ground. And all this, due to the great work from the police officers. No, this was not a police chase. They made all the efforts to cut traffic in all intersections. And they really succeeded. The slowest section was this one, due to the cobbled street. But when I say slow, I don't mean it is for everyone. But as soon as the tar surface appears, everyone started speeding up. Including myself. Obviously. Even because Frankenstein doesn't like to ride slowly for a long period of time. And there are other bikes much worse. And so we arrived quite quickly at the destination, which was in front of Oporto's City Hall. This was the place in which I realized the low amount of motorcycles that came this year. Approximately 256 motorcycles. Yes, I counted them. The question is, why such a low number? There are three strong factors that explain it. The number one is obviously the bad weather on most cities around Oporto. Number two, it was the last day of the WRC Rally of Portugal. And number three, the football match of the Portuguese Cup final. But even with all these constraints, I really liked this year's ride. In a way, I felt a more cozy and warm atmosphere, with a lot less confusion than usual. This dog was definitely one of the ride's points of attraction, including the lovely couple on this blue Triumph, who allowed my friend Augusto to take this great photo. Speaking about that,
Augusto, tenta tirar aí uma para nós. Obrigado.
but did the DGR end here? Absolutely not. Considering that we are in the month of May, it means that we have more hours of sunshine. And so the ride continues, returning to the initial meeting point. While I was making this video, I accidentally found an interesting moment of mine on Antonio's footage. If you pay attention, the street starts getting narrower from this point forward. I was paying attention to the bike on my right, without paying attention to the bike that was right behind me. I don't know who he is, but in case he sees this video, please forgive me. I didn't want to cut you off. I am very grateful to António Vilarinho for these great video sequences. I never met him in person, but I am sure he is a great guy. Here is a link to his DGR video. This year, I felt some lack of custom and classic motorcycles. But I am sure next year, the blue and sunny day will help us attract them.
Eba! Só possível. Obrigado.
And who is this guy, who seems to be everywhere? I don't know. But I remembered him later. He is the same guy. From the Speaking Harley. For some reason, he made a big downsizing on its wheels. And why? Maybe it's because of the gasoline high prices. Or maybe it is because of his stunts. What a character. I have to congratulate Ton Up Garage and the organization for making this DGR possible. As usual, they did a great job. I even noticed we had portable toilets on the meeting point. But I also want to congratulate the police, who not only did a remarkable job, but also for honoring us with the presence of their finest police car. And how was the return home trip? It started fast. It continued the same way, although some are even faster. And it ended up great. What a marvelous day. Thank you for watching Racer TV. And as always, I hope to see you on the next video.
Espera aí, deixa eu acalmar um bocadinho aqui.